So look, ladies and gentlemen, I know a lot of you guys watching this video are feeling incredibly stuck in your lives. You have these incredible goals, dreams, and aspirations, but you just don't know how to accomplish them. Now, if that is you, I need you to listen very closely to the rest of this video, because in today's video I'm going to talk about the 20 realities about social humanity that will help you flourish 10 times quicker to reclaim back your life. These are the contents that teachers don't educate, parents don't understand, and who knows but won't tell you. Today, I secretly tell you. Now, real quick, let me tell you the first fact. 1. A man in hunger will choose food he despises. A man in loneliness will choose people he dislikes. There is a famous saying in the Outlaws of the Marsh. Any food when you're hungry, when you're cold, rags save life. Any road when you're frightened, when you're poor, any wife. That is to say, when you are in a hurry or have no conditions, you don't have time to choose. 2. When you remind the idiot not to be cheated, the fool will believe you are insulting its intelligence. And because you also upset the liar, injuring his interests, they will band together to screw you. 3. There is no such thing as good or bad people, and the good and evil of humanity are determined by the extent of one's interests. Whomever you can help will like you, and you are friends. Whomever you offend will despise you, disregard you, or even frame you, and you are foes. There is a fight where there is interest, and where there is interest, there is the risk of humanity. The essence of all partnerships is that they are based on mutual interest. 4. You must go through 3 ordinary experiences in your life. Accept the ordinariness of your parents in your 20s. Accept the ordinariness of yourself in your 40s. And accept the ordinariness of your children in your 50s. 5. The enemy of friends and relatives is the enemy when there is no internal conflict, and he will be fiercer toward the enemy than toward friends and relatives. The enemy of friends and relatives is the friend when there is internal conflict, and he will be fiercer toward the friend than toward the enemy. The two wolves fighting endangers the sheep flock. Establishing an external conflict or shared interests, coming together, and reaping the benefits jointly are successful ways to resolve internal problems. This is the ability that intelligent people need to possess. 6. In adversity, do not talk about sentiment, pragmatism is the root. People in the valley, do not talk about the principles, survival is the king. The biggest problem is that they have nothing but anxiety about world events as well. 7. If you want to avoid being injured in a relationship, never put all your eggs in one basket. In other words, a person's emotional input can accomplish 60 to 70% of the work, but never bare one's soul, otherwise, your sincerity may not be exchanged for sincerity, and there may also become someone else's table dishes. 8. The less capable a person is, the more he enjoys complaining about society and blaming others, and the more he enjoys gossiping and badmouthing others. A beggar is not jealous of a rich man who makes more than him, but he is jealous of his peers who earn more. 9. Some people ask what is the right person. One is the person who smiles as soon as you see him, and the other is the person you smile to as soon as you see him. 10. The so-called moral standards, in fact, are specially formulated for the poorer the people, the more they like to comply with talking about moral principles. If a person keeps himself in order from the beginning to the end and has nothing to excel in himself, then there is a high probability that this person will not become rich. This is the reality. As the saying goes, horses are not fat without night grass, and people are not rich without windfalls. Most of the first pot of gold earned by the rich is a gray color. So, to get rich, you have to get rid of the moral standard. The rules have always been made by the strong, and relatively the weak compete with each other within the rules. 11. Quit an inappropriate job. Withdraw from an inappropriate community. Say goodbye to an inappropriate relationship and leave an inappropriate one. It is not terrible to get on the wrong bus, it is a kind of wisdom to get off. 12. The so-called pressure is the lack of their own ability. The so-called difficulties are their own insufficient. If you can't accept it, you can change it, and if you can't change it, you can let go. 13. Never expect to become friends with your coworkers. It is better not to borrow money from relatives and friends because people who deal with your money often end up becoming enemies. 14. Time is constantly screening the people and things around you. No one can accompany you forever, but there will always be someone with you. 15. More than teachers, a child's family of origin shapes who they become. 16. As long as a person is fulfilled, his body will generally not be too bad. Almost all human illness comes from delusional emptiness. 17. In actuality, the comparison is the primary driving force behind most purchases. 18. Couples can't see their characteristics until they divorce. Sisters can't see their faces until they touch money. Children can't see their filial piety until their parents are sick. Friends can't see their humanity until they touch their interests. 19. The mother's womb serves as the starting point, and the coffin serves as the ending point. Life is the landscape in between, and although it appears to be very busy, it is merely passing the time. Keep things simple while everyone is still living. 20. There are only two categories of people in society: wolves and sheep. You are either a wolf who can eat people or a sheep waiting to be eaten. The world has always operated under the principle of the jungle, where the weak are prey to the strong. How the wolf's survival strategy is to kill sheep gently, and the sheep's only strategy is to evolve into wolves. Evil cannot prevail over good, according to a proverb. The meaning of this sentence is not that evil can never defeat justice, but that once evil defeats justice, it is itself righteous. Because the rules are established by the powerful. Justice is complying with the interests of the dominator and the majority. In human society, 99% of people are sheep. Their destiny is to be milked, or milked in a different way, which is also known as the leaks. As I said, when you attach these facts, whatever your goals are for 2023, consider it done. So ladies and gentlemen, for those of you guys who have other ideas, I want you to leave a comment down below and share what your experience has been with it so far. Go ahead and check out my other videos, and just remember, focus is the thing you need to optimize for. The more you have singular focus on the task that you are trying to accomplish, the more you're gonna win in life. So on that note, I catch you guys in the next video.